Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and I've been waiting to film this video. It is finally my second update, I believe, of my Pandas eyeshadow series. I do have some good progress to show you guys, and I'm just generally very excited to get some new shadows in here. I'm not wearing any of my Pandas eyeshadows on my eye today. I'm actually wearing the Natasha Denona Gold palette because this is my first time playing with it, and I just wanted to focus on this beauty. But otherwise, I've been doing kind of well focusing on my Pandas eyeshadows. You will see there is one shadow that is kind of embarrassing, but let's just get into the video. First, I will start with the progress of the shadows, and then I will work into rolling in some new shades. So the first shadow is the ColourPop Mandalorian palette, the shade Right Hand Mando, and I wore this for a total of 12 times, so I did a little bit better. This month, it's this gray shade right here. And you're not gonna be able to tell, but I'm starting to get a dip going finally. I thought I would maybe roll this out after like 10 to 20 uses, but I definitely want to keep this in a little bit longer. It is not a super impactful shimmer that I found I can kind of layer this first as my base coat, and then if I put anything on top, it will kind of mask the color, which I know is a little bit wasteful, but it still does a little bit of something, and it helps me use the shadow a little bit more. So I have the slightest dip where my finger goes in on this shade, but definitely not close to pan. I took the shade out of the palette just to see how thick the pan is, and I'm nowhere close, but I'm hoping if I can make this to 30 uses, I will see pan, because I've just been adoring this palette. This is one of my favorite palettes in my collection. Like, I just have been loving it so much. What I will do normally is I will apply a transition shade, and then I will put Float Your Crib, which is this dark green, on my outer corner. I will put a little bit of Babyface mixed with just like a tattooing in the crease, because this doesn't add that super light green, but it does add a hint of green into my crease to make the Float Your Crib blend a little bit better, and I've been loving it. And then I put on Right Hand Mando all over my like inner to middle lid portion, and then I will put Sipping Soup on my lid, and I love this shade. It's like a green shimmery shade, and that's probably my favorite shade in the palette. And then I will usually like tap on top like one of these Super Chalk shadows, but I've been absolutely loving this palette. I love the greens on me, and I'm happy to keep this in a little bit longer. So this is going to stay in. I will swatch it for you. It's just like a gray, but it's not too cool toned. As you can see, when you swatch it, it can kind of just blend into my skin tone, and as I blend it out, it just kind of acts as a base shadow, which I've been really enjoying. Then the next shade is the Natasha Denona Tropic palette in the shade Sahara, and you guys, I am never going to hit pan on this shadow. I've used this now a total of 23 times. 23. And you'd think like, yeah, I'm probably making a dip. Literally you can't even tell what shade it is because there is no dip. You can see in the pan, I don't know if you can tell, you can see brush marks in the pan and tell that I've dipped into a lot, but there is no dip in this shadow. These pans, if you've never seen the full-size Natasha Denona palettes in real life, these pans are massive. Let me show you. Let me just show you guys. This is Natasha Denona Bronze. Many of you have it, or a midi palette. And the Tropic is massive. The pan size are just massive, and some of you have commented on my videos saying that you did hit pan on a Tropic shade in like 30 uses. I don't know how. Maybe I just need to be more aggressive with my shadows. I apply makeup very lightly because I just like the way it looks, but I'm not seeing any dip in this. I'm going to keep it in. Okay, I can't do anything about the AC, but I'm gonna keep this in because like I can't just stop now. I don't know if I'll keep it in until I hit pan, but since I'm at 23 uses, next month I should hit that 30, and I will see where I'm at with over 30 uses, because there is no reason to ever buy another palette when I have my Natasha Denona ones, because these are going to last me forever. I would like to at least see a dip in this, and then I will feel a little bit more satisfied. Let me know if, like, please be brutally honest, does the AC bother you? Like, would you rather me wait a little bit for the AC to turn off, or do you guys not care? Anyways, the next palette is the Natasha Denona Glam, and it's the shade 15, which is the Raw Bone shade, and I did hit pan on this. I've hit pan on eyeshadows every month that I've done this project so far, which is amazing, but this shade was very easy to hit pan on. It's this bottom right shade, and this shade is so soft, and I was using this brush, which is very stiff and it has a point to it, and when I go in to the shadow and kind of dig like that, it was so easy to hit pan on it because it's so soft. Not all of the shades in here are like that. That was just the only case, and I did not really like this on the inner corner. It wasn't super bright, so I found myself dipping into it a lot, and I just never really liked the look. I hit pan on this after 6 uses, which I know that's not a lot, and that's only because of the brush I was using and because I was applying a lot, because I started to see a dip, so I really was going ham at it, and I just like it was not building up the brightness, which, I mean, I think this shade is better on my inner corner, but I used this a total of 8 times this month. I kind of put it away after a little bit, but you can see the pan and the reflection there. I still would like to eventually get this palette rolled back in because I still want to get more use out of it. I will never feel like I get enough use out of my Natasha Denona palettes, but I do really enjoy this palette, and I'm glad I hit pan on this, and it only took me 1 month. Then is the M Cosmetics Divine Skies eyeshadow palette. I'm so embarrassed. I literally used the shade 3 times. It's this bottom shade right here. I don't know what it was. I just was, when I do my makeup, I have the time to sit here and do eyeshadow, so I've just been doing more extravagant eyeshadow, and this palette is really good for simple makeup. And also, I was kind of over the pinks this month because I just felt like I was doing pinks all the time, so I did reach out my Natasha Denona bronze to use for the last week of February, and then before that, I don't really know what I was doing, but I've been reaching more for tones like these just because I kind of needed a break from the pinks, so I didn't use this one as much, but I mean, you're not going to be able to see a difference. Literally no difference at all. I still would like to get more use out of this palette, but I don't see myself hitting pan on this, and I just realized I need to swatch the Tropic shade for you. So I will first swatch the shade Sahara, which is like a mustardy neutral brown. These top 2 shades have been in the project since I started the project, so this will be their 3rd month in the project. And then the M Cosmetics palette I rolled in last month, and this is the bottom middle shade. As you can see, it's a little bit more pinky, a little bit more rose goldy compared to the other ones. The last shade I had in was the single shadow from Hourglass in the shade Smoke, and I actually did declutter that after 2 uses. I just realized that I've been really into palettes lately, and I have so many single shadows that I really didn't need that one. I don't know exactly what the combinations of shades were, but it was these 3 top shades from the Natasha Denona Glam, and it gave me like the same exact look, and I don't need a single eyeshadow and a cream one at that. I think it's, I don't know, I don't need a single eyeshadow that will go bad faster and has a lot more product when I have a palette that is easier for me to reach for. So I did end up decluttering that. There was no progress on it, and I didn't need it. So those were the eyeshadows that I had. I hit pan on 1 and decluttered another. So I still have 3 in the project, and that means I get to roll 2 in. Okay, so I have 185 eyeshadows. Last month I did it by palette, and I'm just kind of in the mood to do it by single eyeshadows. So I have 185, and I will go ahead and roll through and find 2 eyeshadows, and then we will go through and find those in my collection. So the first number that I rolled was number 8, and that was actually the Natasha Denona Glam in the outer eyelid shade, and I already had that in this project for a month, and while I could roll that back in, I just don't want to focus on that shade right now, so I'm going to re-roll. Okay, so the first shade that I rolled now is the shade 94, and then the actual second shade that I rolled was 96, which might be from the same palette, so I will decide after I kind of swatch everything out if I want to either choose a new number or maybe roll one of these out. So let me look. The shade 94 is the Pat McGrath Flora Fantasia shade in Utopia. So Utopia is this lightest shimmer shade. It's right here. It's that lightest shimmer, which I actually haven't used that much. And then 96 is the shade Iridescent Orchid, which is the shimmery pink. I have not used that one much, so I'm really excited for that. And actually, I'm going to roll out the M Cosmetics palette, I believe, because I have these 2 pinks, and I just am not really feeling like reaching for this right now. I know I love this palette a lot, but this is a palette that I really like for quick looks, and it's just not a palette I'm super drawn to at the moment, so I am going to roll that one out. And I will just keep both shades in from this Pat McGrath quad. I don't want to hit pan on these, so I will reevaluate. Probably since they're both shimmers, this pink one especially, I probably will set like a usage goal of 10, and then maybe this lighter shimmer, maybe 15. So let me re-roll for a new number to replace M Cosmetics. I rolled the number 29, which is from my Natasha Denona bronze palette, which I'm actually very excited about because I think I said in this video, I actually had this one picked for my Shop My Stash. So I rolled the shade Alloy. That is this middle shade, and it's like a yellowy shade that I will swatch right here. It is pretty yellow, but this is a very soft shadow, so I'm hoping I can make a very good dip on it this month. These are all pretty bright and vibrant colors, and also won't really go with this silver that much, but I'm hoping I can get like 10 uses on each shade, and of course I have the one matte color that will go with them all. So here we are again. We got the silver shade from the color Hot Mandalorian, which I think has about one more month left in this project. I have the matte shade from Natasha Denona Tropic in the shade Sahara. It's not very well swatched, but I think that shade will go with all of the other shades in this palette, or in my color story. And then the three new shades, two of them come from the Pat McGrath Floor Fantasia. Don't know how that happened, but it's these two shades, which are actually the two that I use the least. I always reach for the peachy matte color and then the lavender color, so reaching for the pink and the lightest shimmer will be good. Those are these two shades right here. I'm excited for those, but I don't expect myself to use this one much, and I'm not going to force myself to use this 30 times. And then I have the bronze palette, the shade Alloy, which is this yellowy color. I don't know if you can see the dip there, but there is a pretty good dip. But thank you guys for watching this video. It was kind of a mess because I kept rolling the same numbers over and over again, but hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you're doing a Pan Those Eyeshadows project and how your progress is, and I will see you in my next video, and thank you for watching.